I'm gonna go. Good evening. I am Adrienne Billings Smith, and I'd like to call to order tonight's virtual general meeting of the members of the West Hartford Human Rights Commission. Because in-person attendance at public meetings is likely to increase the risk of transmission of COVID-19, this meeting is being conducted. Good evening. I am Adrienne Billings Smith, and I'd like to call to order with Governor Lamont's executive orders concerning the conduct of public meetings and proceedings. The West Hartford Human Rights Commission fosters mutual understanding and respect among people and encourages equality of treatment of all people, regardless of race, color, religious creed, sex, sexual orientation, civil union status, gender identity or expression, marital status, familial status, genetic information, age, economic status, lawful source of income, national origin or ancestry, veteran status or present or past history of physical, mental, intellectual, or learning disability, including but not limited to blindness. Welcome, everyone. As we all know, tonight we have our special guest will not be here, so I will take attendance. We'll approve the meeting, the minutes from March 3rd. We'll go over old business, new business, and then we'll talk about future meeting topics, and we will adjourn the meeting. So at this moment, I'd like to take attendance. Assam?
I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Sarah?
Yes, I'm here.
Dawn?
Present.
Ted?
Here.
Pramod?
Here.
We are missing Brian, Aurora, and Kristen, and Rabbi Michael Pincus until he officially resigns with the town if he has not. Do you have that down, Dawn, everyone who's here?
I do, and I guess I need to know if we have a quorum, please.
And do we have a quorum? And Adrienne is here. We have a quorum. We do. All right. So I'd like to take a moment. Sorry, my puppy just came. I'd like to take a moment and approve the March 3rd meeting minutes. Does anyone have any objections to approving the March 3rd meeting minutes? All in favor of approving the March 3rd meeting minutes, can I have a... Yeah. Want me to...
Yes.
Aye.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good deal. So for old business, I just want to make sure. Don and Sarah, we're going to email the individuals who are nominated, the past individuals, and then we're going to use the verbiage from the old verbiage, I should say, and then we're going to resend that out. What date would we like to send that out, and when would we like it back? We have to do it this week, I think. Need to be sending out the apology to the old individuals and letting them know what happened. And we need to be sending, for me, I personally think by next Monday we should be sending out the new criteria.
Sarah Raskin, Commissioner. So I did draft a little draft email to send out to folks that nominated last time. I just want to make sure everyone's okay with that. And then I'm happy to send it out. I have their contact info. What's our timeline, Adrienne? Like, when do they want to award these?
Well, originally it was supposed to be at the end of this month, but I think that Sherry doesn't have a huge timeline or a strict timeline, so we can push it to June and we can honor in June if we'd like to.
I'd like to suggest, that we give people time.
Okay.
Not rush it. So I think that would be lovely. We're going to have to come up with, language criteria for the new awards that potential nominators can read and understand and see. And then last time we used a Google form to collect the nominations. I don't know if we want to do something like that again.
I think does everyone agree like we can just use the standard Google form to do the nominations? To do the nominations and ensure the criteria. Is anyone against that? No.
I agree.
Okay. So can we have Sarah, will you send an email out with the verbiage for the old nominees so everyone can okay it, or would you like to show it now? Is that what you?
Can I send it out because I might be fumbling here to try to find it.
Let's send that out, and then if we approve it, if you send it out tonight or tomorrow, and we approve it before the weekend, do you think that you can get that out over the weekend to the past nominations, and then we can write?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then what I'd like to do then is give us from then by the, what are we on, the 7th?
Today's the 7th.
So we as a commission, can we start to write some criteria and have it done by the 16th to be ready to send out by the 19th of April? Or, the survey, do you think we can do that? If we start working on it, some of the old verbiage is already going to be in there, so we're just going to add a couple different things. So I feel like by the 16th we should be able to get whatever new criteria and language in there, and then out. The survey goes out on the 19th. We're going to do it through our social media, but also send it to Renee, who is the town public relations, and she can send it out through the town. Everyone okay with that? Anyone disagree? Anyone have any opinions?
I approve. I'm in line with your timeline.
Okay.
This is Dawn as secretary. Sarah, I'm not familiar with this, and Adrian mentioned me, so I'll help you in any way I can, but I'm not really sure what I need me to do. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Awesome. And then we will need, if we're going to aim for June to do the honoring, we'll need to get in touch with Sherry, which is fine with me, Mayor Cantor, I should say, excuse me. So we want 1 month out. So we want May 19th to be the last day for submissions. And then town council can go over it. It can even be, we can have a spot, we have a Juneteenth. Thank you, Sam. We have a Juneteenth ceremony on June 19th. So she can do it during that week. She can do it. So we'll aim for mid-June for her to do the actual announcements and recognition of people. Possibly on June 19th.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You think that's okay? There's space in the schedule.
Hesitated only because they're not exactly Juneteenth related, but I think that still it'd be a great event to.
Yeah. So this is not on the agenda, but I just wanted to say something about Juneteenth. It's a community event. It'll be the Juneteenth event. It'll also have a Unity Green event going on the 20th. So it'll be a weekend. So we could actually do it. We might even be able to pull it on the 20th. So we might have some wiggle room for us to do that.
And Adrian, do let the commission know if there's ways that we can get involved in and support Juneteenth. I know you did an amazing job last year, but if there's ways that we can support.
I wanted to email you guys, sometime we get a couple different things locked down to get, your input on a couple different things. If that's
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be our input, but just our support and how
Yeah.
we can. The other thing is because we're now talking about 2 different dates in June, I have been unable to make any of the Pride planning meetings because I just keep there's one tonight. Dawn, I don't know if you've been going, but I just feel like we should coordinate with whatever Pride is planning for June, especially because June 20th is right around,
Yeah.
If this is done, I can prepare a report that I can email the members, the commissioners, so that you're familiar with what's planned for the West Hartford Pride Committee. I'm not prepared to do that right now, but there will be a flag raising on Unity Green, which we'll call Unity Green, even though it's not been dedicated. And
I wasn't pressuring you for a report, which I would love, but more saying that we should coordinate so we don't plan activities the same day.
the things I know for are a flag raising toward the beginning of June, possibly June 1st. I don't have the exact date. And events in person in Blueback Square, possibly also Elmwood, still being negotiated later in June, after Juneteenth, after June 20th. The events, as far as I know right now, do not conflict.
Thank you. All right. What else do we have on here? New business. Don, I don't know if
Before we go, hi, this is Tom. Before we go to new business, can I ask 2 questions? Number one, who will make the final decision on the selection of the winners after people make the nomination? Who will make the final decisions on who wins the award? That's number one. That's first. Number 2, for the June 13th. Does our commission have any role in the Juneteenth, or that is a town council thing?
as of now, our commission does not have a direct role from our commission in Juneteenth. No. As far as who makes the decisions, people will submit decisions, and I don't know. We'll have to talk about that further once we start to receive submissions to see if there's a number of people who select an individual or an organization. If I don't know how it has been done traditionally, that's something Sarah can kind of fill us in on as a commission to tell us how they were selected prior to. And then the town council basically will be checking off to make sure there's no discrepancies or issues, and then they will check off on the individuals who are selected for or nominated for those particular areas.
So, Mayor Cantor was very clear that the selection is made by the town council. And so officially it is the town council choosing the winners. But she wants us to recommend to her who we think the town council should choose. So
Perfect.
in essence, we have to make this, like in essence, so we had a meeting last time that we devoted to going through all the nominees and discussing them and weighing them and ranking them. So I assume we'll have some kind of a process like that.
That's great.
Also, I did put in the chat, I just drafted, if people want to look at it and make comments, or I can send it by email and people can take their time. But either way, it's there.
I'd appreciate if you would send them by email, just because the people who are missing have been active and wanting to be a part of it, so that we can do that. Anyone else have anything to discuss on the old business? All right, new business. Don, I don't know when we went over the social media policy, if you kind of made notes and then put it all together. I'm going to assume not, and that's fine. So we can hold off on that. But if you did, that would be awesome. So that we can go ahead and improve the social media policy. We've had other commissions who like the idea of our social media policy and have been asking if they can kind of take from it and replicate it for their own commissions. So I don't, if you don't have it, if you wouldn't mind going through and taking those notes out and making an official social media policy that we can vote on next month and be done with it, I'd really appreciate it. If you don't have time, then just let us know, and one of us can also do it. We can ask another member to do it also. You're on mute.
I mute myself because of all the lawn mowing that's going on with our neighbors next door. I didn't want you to have to listen to that. This is Donna, as secretary. I wanted to go from my memory here. My memory serves that we actually already voted on the social media policy that Sarah presented at a prior meeting. I can't remember which one it was. And we had motions and seconds, and we basically, I thought, filed that away. I can call up those notes and I can send that out to the commissioners, but I don't know if we really need to have another vote.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Adrian Billing-Smith here, co-chair. That's great. I felt like we did, but at the same time, I didn't have the written, the actual written verbiage of it. So I want to make sure that we have that, and we, as a commission, that we have that, and it's out in our notes and transparent. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I'll probably speak real quick. What I'll do is, just to be absolutely certain, so there's no confusion, I'll meet with Sarah's sideline separately to make sure that I've got the final thing. I'll check it against the minutes and I'll send it out to everyone so we can all say this is what we approved. Does anyone have any objections?
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead, Sarah.
I just want to go back for a second to the Town of Compassion Awards. Did we come up with criteria? Because if we're going to be sending something out very quickly, we need to.
No, that's what we're gonna have together as far as criteria. I was saying that by the 16th, we should all have conferred for criteria. Okay. So that we can get that verbiage, give everybody a chance to get that verbiage together for the criteria. If that's what you wanted to know, right? Okay, awesome. And Ted, have you heard anything about the coaches that you want to update us on?
Well, I know the coaches, they had gone to the CHRO. Actually, before they had spoken with me, I didn't know that. And then the West Hartford Youth Football League had their attorney answer to the CHRO, which forwarded all the information back to the coaches. And now I think it's, the attorney's asking for it to be dismissed because, in her opinion, and she has a bunch of paperwork in there, that there was no racial underpinnings in what had happened. So now it just sits with the CHRO. But everything that I've gone through, being involved with the league for over 10 years, what they did, the three coaches, they had started their own business. And during COVID, they sent out an email to all the families that they had coached before. So emails that they had already had used as they coached, people that they already knew, stating that this is who we are. We just started a new business. We just want to get all the kids out there. It's going to be free. We're, paying attention to all the COVID rules. And I guess someone from the league, a parent, asked the league who these coaches were, is this affiliated with the league? And the league came back and said no. And for some reason, they were very, very upset that they had utilized those email addresses to contact people for this. They had called a board meeting, and they wanted to meet and talk with these three coaches. The coaches sent back to the board, can we meet as a group, meet all three coaches at once? And they wanted to talk to each individual coach and not all three coaches at once. So I guess that they had met with a couple of them. I think one didn't want to meet with them individually. He wanted it to be as a group. So they met with them. They had whatever discussion. And then the West Hartford Football League board decided to suspend them for a year. And if COVID wasn't finished by them, to keep that suspension until a season had been played. So my biggest issue with this is there has to be something underpinning this other than just they happen to send out an unsolicited email. Because one, it was for free. They weren't asking for any money or anything. Two, people knew who these guys are. They coached in the league. They were coaching in the league. One of them was actually an active board member at the time. And three, there was nothing in the bylaws that I could find, and there was nothing in existence in the bylaws when I was involved with the league that called for any kind of suspension or actually talked about any use of the emails that you had been given. And when I talked to the coaches, I said, well, I can go back to when I was president. If you guys would have done this when I was president, then we would have sat down, we would have spoken, probably sat down with the whole board. You might have ended up with a warning. You might have ended up with a 1-week suspension at worst. Most likely it would have been a warning. So in this instance, I can't see why there's a 2-year suspension for something that, one, there wasn't a bylaw for, and two, was just a very, very minor transgression. They explained out that they weren't, this wasn't in any way, shape, or form affiliated with the league, and they were actually just doing it to get all the kids out there, and it was open to anyone. It just wasn't open to the kids that they had coached before. Any friends, anybody that they wanted to bring, they were more than welcome. It was free. They would have information there if people wanted to continue in a paid fashion, but as far as this was concerned, it was free.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my 10 plus years with the league, I'd have to go back. I don't think that I remember anybody being suspended for a year, especially for a transgression such as this. So the guys, there were three black coaches, and they felt that there was something racial involved with that. And as I said, it's at the CHRO now. I'm still doing my own investigations. And I got a bunch of emails, everything that they sent me, discussions that they had with the town, because they tried to get the town a little involved. And the town said, well, we don't have anything to do with any of the youth sports leagues in town, so we don't get involved. So still going through all of that. And now just seeing with the CHRO and what the coach's answer to the league's attorney is going to be.
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate that.
But one of the things, but there is definitely something. It's not just that they sent out an email. I'm not 100% sure what it is yet, but it's not that they just sent out an email. There's no way that they end up with a 2-year suspension for that.
I agree.
Thank you for bringing it to us. And, obviously it sounds like right now it's with lawyers, CHRO, so we probably don't have a role to play, but if we do, please do bring it back.
And I tried talking with the new president, and I said, listen, anything we could do to just talk between us, and that way just make it easy, maybe an apology, maybe something like that. Everybody's happy. And he goes, well, it's to the lawyers now, so there's not much we can do, and I really actually can't even talk to you. Everything has to go through the attorney. So, okay. You know the way it is, Adrian. Get the attorney involved. It's all screwed up after
that. No comment. I plead the fifth. Yeah. Well, thank you for that update. I truly appreciate it. And just keep us up. We'll ask each month about the update to see what's going on. And like Sarah said, it's with the lawyers. Like you said, it's with the lawyers. But if there's anything that they feel that's a town affiliated, we'll do whatever we can to
yeah, just to help out. I mean, these guys
bring into
were
awareness.
treated wrong. Yeah,
absolutely. So that leads us to future meeting topics. As we said, we were supposed to do faith and human rights tonight. As we're recognizing that our Jewish counterparts cannot be here tonight, so we asked them, as you saw in the email, to come next month, which would kind of move everything down. We can also, with these future meeting topics, we can kind of combine some of them. They all ended up working out when I was putting it all together, but we can combine some different things together so that we're still making sure that we're talking to individuals within our community. I just like the idea of, me personally, I like the idea of making sure that people know that we exist as a commission, that they have a voice, and they can come here unjudged, and have a discussion, and anything that we can help to support whatever causes or issues that they may be having in the community. That was the purpose of these particular meeting topics, to just to hold some space for our community, and then deal with our actual business. But I wanted to make sure that we held space for our community members, because it is about them. It's about making sure they have the support system that they need. So if everyone's okay with that, these are the potential future meeting topics. We'll back up for May. It will be faith and human rights in May. It seems that all the individuals who were supposed to come anyways confirmed that they will be here next month, which is great to hear. They were all appreciative that we postponed it because they thought that, you know, we wanted to make sure that we had everybody at the table to
Sarah Wiskin, so 2 quick questions. Are you going to reach out to Rabbi Pincus for May, or do you want me to reach out to?
already confirmed that he'll be here.
Excellent, good. And then for the future meetings, do you want us to be sending you suggestions for people to invite? Do you want us, how do you want to like gather?
Yeah, you know, that would be great, Sarah, if you want to send them, you know, to me to invite. Or, I mean, I like the way we did it. We kind of each knew someone also, but just like if we can gather a general email that for each month, because I like the email that you had for this particular month, and we can kind of just tailor it to that particular month. But yeah, at least send me the name. If you send the email out, at least send me the individual's name so we can keep a running tally so we don't end up with 20 people.
That's what I was thinking. Like, do we want to decide ahead of time, we're going to invite these 5 people, and then Dawn can do one, and I can do one, and you can do one? Or how do we want to decide who?
Yeah, so like, yeah, how about so for May, we already kind of have our thing set. So if we're going to do in June, if we combine sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, then let's have like no more than 5 individuals that we're going to have here. So everyone, if you have someone who you think should come here, then yeah, just email me the names, and then we can have a general email that goes out to them, and that's fine by me. And I think, you know, I think that'll work out. And we'll plan, and we'll try to plan just a little further ahead. I'll try to send that email that I sent out for us just a little further ahead in about a week or so, or 2 weeks, to remind us that we want to do that, and we can get the people here. And our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 5th at 7 p.m. And I think that's all we have for tonight, since we don't have our guests that are coming. So if anyone wants to.
May I suggest something?
Absolutely.
This is Secretary Dawn Ennis. I could have put this under old business, but I wanted to save it for new business. I want us to invite a member of the eventually decided and confirmed Civilian Police Review Board to come before the Human Rights Commission and talk to us. For those who don't know, we received a response to our request from the town attorney, who said that we are not entitled to have a liaison, and that no commission, no other panel, no other group in the town gets a liaison except for the town manager and the police department. And while we won't be able to help form the commission, I would like to propose that one of our meetings should include an invitation to whoever wants to represent the new commission.
I think that's a good idea. I think that new commission starts in July. So I think that's great to have them come and speak on about the Civilian Review Board and their hopes, and I think that's a good idea.
I love that idea, and it makes me think maybe there are other commissions. There's the new commission on housing that we might want to reach out to for a future meeting, and then some of the commissions that have been around for a while. I've always thought, like, wouldn't it be great if we knew what the commission on people with disabilities is doing, or the commission on aging, and if there's ways we can dovetail and support each other.
I think that's a great idea. Great idea, Tom. Thank you for bringing that up. Go ahead, Pramod.
And also, there is a thing going around for the Youth Commission. I think we should definitely have those folks in mind too. So, come and speak to us what they think in terms of human rights and one Youth Commission.
That's a great idea, because remember we were originally going to have a youth member, and then Sherry had mentioned that we're going to do the Youth Commission. So I think that's a great idea.
Awesome.
Can I put a really controversial thing on a future agenda item?
Yes.
I've just been thinking about what would reparations look like for the town of West Hartford. So I don't know. It felt like this commission might be a place to start the conversation. Maybe not, but other towns are beginning to talk about it. So I just thought it would be interesting for West Hartford to think about it.
And would you like someone to come speak about it, or would you like just? All right. I noted. No. Does anyone have anything further that they would like to bring up, maybe for future agendas, or anything from older new business that you need to discuss? Oh. All right. Would anyone like to propose a motion to adjourn?
I
Sarah
will.
Huskin. Okay, I'll second Ted.
There you go.
Okay. Anyone against adjourning right now? We'll be adjourning this meeting at 7:38 p.m. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Have a good week, everyone.
Yes, have a great evening. We missed the sunset, but it is okay. I was happy to see